welcome everyone. The point of this video is that I'm going to go through. This is the long form video. I'm also going to have a short form video of this that just hits on the cliff notes. So if you want to watch that video, click on the, there'll be like an annotation that pops up in the top right of the screen. So without further ado, let's talk about what each team in the LPL right now needs to make it to playoffs and what their best seeding is likely to be. We're going to look at the schedules that are coming up for each of the teams and what we can expect based on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a new doc as well. I'm going to do this. Alright, so we're going to call this LPL expectations. So we'll begin at the top. Feels like a good place to begin. So RNG, really good right now, right? They've been looking amazing. They're 11-1 for Christ's sake. Like, my expectation is at minimum, probably, like at a guess, minimum second seed, but I would assume first seed at this point. Let's look at the schedule though. So, RNG versus JDG, we expect a win for RNG. RNG versus RA and LGD, both should be wins. So at minimum, we're looking at 14 wins for RNG. I would say there's a real possibility that Top Esports beats them, but I think that will be close. I think that's actually incredibly hard to call. In fact, I think betting odds will probably be a bit messed up in that series, because I actually think Top Esports are one of the best teams in the league. Maybe the best team in the league. But that's off of my personal perspective on it. So I don't know. But I think RNG... Right, so at worst, so RNG... This is all outside of upsets. Outside of upsets. 14 for 2 at worst. 15-1 at best. So, there is only one other team that can tie them at 14-2. So right now, incredibly likely that RNG is first seed. EDG start to beat LNG, which I expect them to. Top Esports, again, another one where it's very difficult to call. Especially with EDG, I'm leaning towards Top Esports. With the RNG series, I actually think that it's maybe RNG favored, but it's very close. I think Top Esports are actually better than EDG at this point, from what we've seen recently. But then I expect EDG to be E-Star. I think EDG beats RA. WE. I want to be biased here. I really want to lean towards WE, but I do think that is probably an EDG series. I think I'm being too harsh on WE, on EDG, honestly. It's this IG series. This IG series, ever since that, I've started to really doubt EDG. And obviously they lost to RNG, but I actually think they played well in that series. And I think that was a very... that was a good series for getting a grasp on both of the teams. So I actually think that this series doesn't detract from EDG to me. That just shows me how good RNG are right now. Whereas this one was like, what happened? I've watched it multiple times now, and I'm still kind of like, where did this version of IG come from? Why can't they consistently play like that? I don't know. So, expectation for EDG? I mean, with WE being a potential question mark, RA being a potential question mark, and Top Esports being a potential question mark, I actually think it's fairly unlikely that they finish 14-2 as well. So I think that by all... expectations, RNG are going to finish number 1. And number 2, well, let's get rid of the numbers for now. We'll come back up to the top. So EDG, this one we can lock in. So let's just put that in bold, I guess, to show that it's locked in. So EDG, I think the expectation should be that they go probably 13-3. I think that with RAWE and Top Esports, there's too much room for error. They haven't been quite as consistent as we would have liked. I think a team like Top Esports is going to beat them. So I think that they'll end up 13-3. Best case is 14-2 with lost tiebreak versus EDG. Worst case. When I say worst case, I don't mean like if they lose everything. They're not going to lose everything. I'm not assuming scenarios where it's like EDG lose all 5 of their games. Like, it's not going to happen, right? So, I'm not going to go on like ridiculous fringe cases. So the worst case in my mind is that they lose 3 series, which is the absolute worst. I really don't even expect that to happen, but just for the sake of doing this fairly, that would finish them at 11-5. So I'd say 13-3 is like the most reasonable. So yeah. Hey, thank you for the cheer. How's everyone doing in chat? Sorry, I won't be interacting with chat a huge amount during this because I'm trying to keep it fairly. I don't know what the word is. Fairly tight because I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So Rare Atom, let's talk Rare Atom. Rare Atom is a team that I think a lot of people are very surprised that they are where they are. They're on an 8-win streak. They beat FPX. Obviously they beat V5 most recently, but I don't think anyone's particularly surprised by that. Now, one thing that's really important to bear in mind when you look at the RA win streak, they lost to JDG, then they beat Rogue Warriors, not a big deal. They beat WE, but this was, if I'm not mistaken, the series against WE was when it was either when Yimeng was playing mid or it was the week after when they looked really weak. So, and Shanks had only just rejoined the squad. So I'm not gonna worry too much about this one. This is when LNG have started to look shaky. So again, another kind of weakened team. They beat TT, but it was kind of shaky. They beat OMG, but it was kind of shaky. They beat E-Star, as they should. They beat FPX, and this is a big one. But again, FPX, this is when Base Run has just joined. And FPX are trying out this funky new identity. And RA, to be fair to RA outplayed FPX in this series. They were drafting, like Lian was playing Karthus. They completely 5-head outplayed FPX in this series. And I think this is the most impressive series that RA have played in the split. This series makes me think it's possible that this isn't a flash in the pan. Series against V5 doesn't matter. Here's the concern for RA. They have to face IG next, which is happening at some point this week. That is on Saturday. They face RA. That will be a big telltale series. But also, they still have to face RNG and EDG. I'm really sorry, RA fans. I don't see a world where they don't stand a chance against RNG. RNG are going to destroy them. EDG, I can see a world where it's possible, but I think RA beating EDG is like the outlier. EDG should win that series. If EDG don't win that series, it's looking really bad for EDG going into playoffs. That's how I'll word it. Like I said before when I was talking about EDG, I expect EDG to beat RA and I expect EDG to beat WE, but they're just like potential series that they could lose. So with that said, we're essentially anticipating that RA will lose 3 of the next 4 series and win 1, right? I think that's the most reasonable assumption. So they finished 10-6. I think the best case... I think the best, like, feasible case is that they actually win against IG and EDG. That's an absolute best case. I don't see the world where they beat RNG. But even them beating EDG is like, I don't know if I can commit to saying that. And also IG is like, I don't know. IG looked pretty good against Top Esports the other day. I just don't know if... I don't know if, like, you know, Cube versus the Shy. I just see Cube getting bullied. Fofo versus Rookie. Fofo's actually a really good laner, so I don't think that'll be that big of a deal. The big thing is that iBoy and Hung are actually very aggressive in the bot lane, and IG pretty much just ignores Puff and Lucas. Puff and Lucas actually had some real struggles in lane against Top Esports, which obviously is maybe the best 2v2 in the league, but I can see a potential weakness there in the bottom lane where iBoy and Hung could maybe take advantage. So I'll say it's possible against IG. I can see the world where that happens against IG. But I still think that it's most likely that they finish 10-6 ultimately. Okay, so FPX. Wait, no, not 13-3, 12-4. Okay. Have I just persuaded myself there? I'm actually kind of leaning the way of RA almost against IG. Am I saying that out loud on stream? Jesus. Do I actually think that? I don't know. Puff just looked so sketch in that most recent series. Oops. But I mean, it was against Top Esports, right? That's the thing. It was against Top Esports. I think we just stick to this. Let's not do this based on my wacky opinions. Let's do this based on what is actually most likely to happen, and let's set an actual expectation. So we move on. Let's talk about FPX. So, FPX are 9-4 right now. They're actually guaranteed playoffs already because they've already played 13 of their games. I mean, this is the simplest one yet. Look at their opponents. TT, V5, BLG. These are 3 easy wins. This is 12-4. Unless they completely win. Moving on. Like, I don't see a way that they don't finish 12-4 with that schedule. If they don't finish 12-4, FPX is doomed in playoffs. It's that simple. So, FPX likely on this model so far. FPX likely to be in sort of 3rd place out of the teams that we've counted so far. Obviously, teams like Top Esports might change that. Because here's the thing about Top Esports, and I mean, we're moving on to them next anyway, so let's just start that conversation. They've still got 5 series. So, let's look. Tez versus EDG, banger. That's an easy win for Top Esports. So they get 1 guaranteed win. Another banger, probably RNG's favor. Then TT, and you should expect it to beat WE. So they have 3 guaranteed wins. Or guaranteed. 3 expected wins. I need to stop using the word guaranteed. My EDG best case is losing a tiebreak versus themselves. Oh, it is. You're right. Thank you. So Tez, likely 3 more wins. So the most likely scenario is they actually finish with... Wait, hang on. We need to reword this. I think that they finish 12 and 4. 3 probable wins. 1 maybe win. Personally leaning to Tez versus EDG. 1 probable loss versus RNG. So then we have a tie here between FPX and Top Esports. So we look at the schedule. FPX win the tiebreak. So currently, I think we should rearrange these as we go so it doesn't take so long later. So RA are now underneath Top Esports. I just need to quickly swap my headphone battery. Give me 1 moment. Oh, I completely forgot to tweet out that we were going through the standings as well. Okay, I can hear you guys again. Not that I could hear you guys in the first place, but I can hear you guys again. I gotta take a very quick reprieve to just quickly tweet out that we're going through the standings. Going through the LPL standings and making prediction playoff seeding on stream. Come
feel good, you can make a person laugh.
Hang out.
Whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally and utterly out of your control.
Hi. Right, currently going through the LPL standings and making a prediction for playoff seeding on stream. Come hang out and see where your team is likely to finish. Tweet. Cool. All right, we continue. Done these. We've done 5, right? Yeah. So at this point, I don't think... I guess we have to do WE before we can confirm that EDG are definitely there. But actually, we already talked about... Yeah, EDG, Top Esports. Okay, so WE aren't going to finish, so let's lock this in. EDG is 2nd place. Congrats, EDG. Let's unbold this. It's just bold. Why isn't the 2 bold? Oh no. Oh my god. Why is the 1 bold and the 2? Oh. I did it. I'm so good. I'm so good at formatting. Okay. These are not confirmed yet until we get further down the standings. So, WE, let's have a look. They've got still 5 series to go. They're on a 3-win streak. They're actually looking really good right now, especially against LGD. They absolutely destroyed them, but that's, you know, expected. Hey, Kelsey. So let's look at the schedule. OMG should be an easy. Oh fuck, that should be an easy clap for WE. Suning, I actually think will be a really interesting series. Oh god. How do you pick when you're biased towards both of those teams? How do you pick which team is the favorite? What do you base it on? League of Legends knowledge? Oh god, I don't know if we can do that. I'm going on eye test and mojo alone. So Kelsey, you're probably going to get triggered in this stream. I'm sorry. I really want to say Suning, but I actually think it's WE favored right now. I think that the laning phase is too weak for Suning. I think Breathe is playing better than Bin is right now. The bot lane... Honfang and On looked better recently, but... I don't know, Jomung and Missing don't look that good right now, so... I think Jomung and Missing are more likely to win 2v2 than Huanfeng and Honor. I think Suning have good team fight, or better team fight than they did at the start of the split, but I'm leaning WE. I'm leaning WE on this one. So, where does that leave us? So WE have 1, 2, I'm going to say they beat BLG, so they get 3 wins. The Suning one is very much a question mark, but let's just say they get 3 wins. I think they lose to EDG and I think they lose to Top Esports. So that gives them 3 wins and 2 losses. So that puts them on 11 and 5. Maybe 10 to 6 if they lose versus Suning. I can't believe I just predicted against Suning. I literally have Suning emotes. In case you haven't seen, guys, I have Suning emotes. Like, here's my Suning poggers. And I just predicted against them. How could I do this? I'm a cold, heartless monster. The problem is, right? One of the best things about Suning is SOFM, right? But Beisheng exists. So I don't know. I don't think SOFM is enough for Suning. Anyway, so likely 11-5 is the key takeaway here, which puts them once again above RA. I think RA are going to have a very depressing fall in the standings. But I would say that's their most likely finish for WE. Next on the list is JDG. JD Gaming. So this is a loss. This is a win, this is a win. JDG LNG. I mean, LNG don't feel very good right now. I mean, JDG haven't felt that good, but I'm really off of the LNG hype train. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I was on board for a while there, but recently it just feels bad. It just feels real bad. I just have lost faith in this team. I actually think JDG wins that on my sentiment here. So that means they go 3-1. They lose to RNG, then they win the other 3 series. So JDG 11-5, which puts them once again above RA. JDG 11-5. I should be making notes on the decider matchups here, shouldn't I? So JDG 2 probable wins versus... I should actually go through and take better notes here so we can do a good concise video. Versus LGD and OMG. One slight win versus LNG. 1 loss versus RNG. Okay. So, JDGWE, who has the head-to-head? JDG does. Which means JDG. Sitting pretty. Here. Which... Now we go into the category of 5 losses. LNG and Suning, the only ones that can potentially contest these. Nobody else can contest these. So we officially have our number 3 is FPX. And our number 4 is Top Esports. Is locked. So, Suning. Let's have a look. So we said that WE are going to win against Suning, didn't we? So, WE. So that means Suning takes the loss. I think Suning beat LNG. I think Suning beat BLG. I think Suning beat E-Star. So Suning, I think, go 3-1 here. Which means they go 10 and 6, which means they're tied with RA. I'm pretty who has the head-to-head actually? Maybe RA has that. Yeah, RA has that. So RA moving up in the world finally. Suning. 10 and 6. Lost H2H versus RA. Versus, who is it? LNG, BLG, E-Star. I guess it's 2 probable wins, right? And a slight win. I don't think it's fair to call it a probable win versus LNG, because I think that's actually very close. So BLG and E-Star. 2 probable wins versus BLG and E-Star. 1 slight win versus LNG. So now LNG. So we've already predicted that LNG will lose some series, which means we can lock these in. So 5 and 6. Okay, we're now into 6 lost territory. So LNG, we have said. Oh god, LNG's schedule maybe sucks, right? So they lose to EDG, they beat OMG. We said that JDG and Suning both beat them, and they beat Rogue Warriors. So they get 2 wins and 3 losses, which is rough. So they finish on 8 losses by that. They go 8 and 8. Who would have expected that? Didn't Lyric always think Suning were going to lose? Lyric's an idiot. What an idiot. Anyone that thinks Suning is going to lose is an idiot. LNG. Likely 8 and 8. Brackets. Question mark. Oh, fuck. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. We should embolden the teams. Likely 8 and 8. It's kind of insane. Kind of insane. So the logic there is that slight losses versus SN JDG. Probable loss versus EDG. Probable loss, win, sorry, versus OMG and Rogue Warriors, was it? I want to say it was OMG and Rogue Warriors. OMG and Rogue Warriors. Hey, nailed it. Okay, close bracket. I can't believe that. I can't believe I just put LNG at 8 and 8. What about OMG? Don't worry, mate. We're working our way down the list. We will get to OMG. We will get to OMG. Invictus Gaming next. Another currently tied team. Did we say RA is going to beat them? I think we said that IG... Yeah, IG wins, right? IG. Okay, IG just gets 4 wins on the trot. That feels pretty good for IG. 10 and 6. They lost to Suning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And we are yet to see the RA series. So IG could snag 7th. IG. So 10 and 6. 3 probable wins versus shit teams. Who is it? TTV5 LGD. slight win versus RA. So at that point, we can put them in 7 because we're assuming that they beat RA in the head-to-head. We can then put RA in 8 because they beat Suning in the head-to-head, and then we put Suning in 9. At 10 and 6. Because we have no more that have 6 losses. So we are almost at our full playoffs list right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all shapes, sizes, cultures, creeds, etc., etc. So now we're getting into the weeds. Because we're entertaining a scenario here where LNG maybe don't make it. They're 8 and 8. Just not a good look. Let's look at BLG. now we get to the fun ones, where we get to talk about the crap teams against the crap teams and who's the least crappy of the crap teams. BLG, I think it's unfair for us to just loop them in with the crap teams, but the problem with their schedule is they're against good teams, right? FBX, Suning, WE should all beat BLG. So BLG realistically only have one win in them. So they're gonna go 6 and 10. Feels bad, man. BLG 6 to 10. 3 probable losses, 1 win versus RW. We should do it properly and write the teams. WE, Suning, FBX. Okay. The worst team that we've written so far. Victory 5. Is Giga doomed? They're going to go 5 and 11. 5 and 11. If they win a series versus... who is it? Top Esports IG, FBX. Tez, IG, or FPX. I will... What will I do? What will I do if they lose a series versus 3 of those teams? This is dangerous because IG is in this list. Okay, if V5 loses to any of these teams, I will I'll do a charity stream, and one of the charity goals, one of the donation goals, will be to shave my head. Alright, there we go. There's an incentive for V5 to win. LGD. I don't think I can put them with a single win. I don't believe in LGD at all. I'm not even going to look at the series. LGD. They go 2 and 14. I think it's doomed. I don't think that they have anything in the tank. I've completely given up on LGD. Yo, Sputnik, thank you so much for the sub, mate. Appreciate that. Free bow. I don't think that's going to go well. It's doomed. I don't think they even beat PUBG. And the rest of them are good teams. So, that is doomed. LGD are doomed. Where are we at? Have we locked in any other teams? At 8 and 8, hilariously, 8 and 8 is a lock. All LNG needs to do to make playoffs is just go even. And that was like a pretty much a worst case scenario that we set up for LNG of what we expect to happen was like really, really bad results basically. That's saying that obviously they lose to EDG, which is fair. And we're saying that they lose both of these close series against Suning and JDG and only beat OMG and Rogue Warriors, who are teams right at the bottom of the standings. And that's enough to make it through at 8 and 8. So, nice. And then we'll have a team, assuming that my predictions are all just totally correct here, They will have 2 wins between them and the team in 9th, and 2 wins between them and the team in 11th. If that actually ends up how it happens, that would be hilarious. Okay, OMG. In fact, this is locked now as well, right? Oh, let's just finish off the list and then we'll figure it out exactly. OMG. So they're 2 and 9 right now. They lose to WE. They lose to LNG. I think they beat LGD, so that's on that one. They lose to JDG. OMG TT. I lean towards OMG. So it's 2 for 3. OMG get 4 wins. Beat TT and LGD. Lose to WE, LNG, JDG. TT. So they lose to FBX, they lose to IG, they beat Rogue Warriors, they lose to Top Esports, and they lose to OMG. So they get 1 win and 4 losses. Which puts them at 3 and 13. So beat RW, lose to, who do we say? I need to just leave that up and just go to this doc instead of clicking all the time. FBX, IG, TS, OMG. Yes. So let's just quickly rearrange here. LGD on 2. Actually, well, let's double check first. I think E-Star lose everything. Oh no, E-Star will win one against LGD. So E-Star will end up on 3 wins as well. And they lose to EDG and Suning. 13. Beat LGD. Lose to... Oh my god, why do I keep clicking off it? EDG and Suning. So... the Rogue Warriors, we've pretty much said we'll lose to everyone, right? We said they lose to TT, lose, yeah. Rogue Warriors just lose. RW, they're in 17th place. They're gonna get 1 win. Sag. Poor Harrow. Poor Harrow. Lose. Okay. So. LGD needs moving down. To here. So now the only thing remaining is to figure out tiebreakers. So you're 11th, you're 12th, you are 13th. TT and E-Star. Is a TT favored? So TT, you're 14. E-Star, you're 15. LGD, you are 16. And Rogue Warriors, you, my friends, are 17th. So, let's just quickly check with LGD. Because if I'm not mistaken, which I easily could be. Okay, no. They were 9th to 12th. I was going to say that LGD were in the bracket for 16th at Worlds as well. They weren't. They were in the bracket for 12th. So, ever so slightly worse than the Worlds performance. So there we have it. So, our final predictions of what we expect. And this is just the end of the round robin. This is not playoffs predictions. What we expect here is that RNG is first place, EDG second, FPX, Top Esports, JDG, WE, IG, RA, Suning, And finally, LNG will be your playoff teams. BLG don't make it. V5 do not make it. And OMG, TTE Star, LGD, and Rogue Warriors are completely doomed.